Caribbean and Venezuela travel update. This is what you need to know. If you are planning to travel to the Caribbean or near Venezuela, here's the current situation in simple terms. Most Caribbean islands are open to tourists and continue to welcome international travelers. No visas required for short tourist stays for most U.S., Canadian, and European travelers. No COVID testing or vaccine proof required in most destinations, flights, hotel, cruises, festivals, and they are operating normally. Important note, some islands have crime or safety advisories, which means travelers should stay alert, follow local guidance, and avoid risky areas, especially at night. Recent flight disruptions, temporary airspace, and flight delays occurred due to regional security issues near Venezuela. But most flights have resumed travel. You should still double check your flight schedules. Venezuela travel, not recommended. Travel to Venezuela is strongly discouraged for most international visitors. Many governments classify Venezuela as high risk. Travelers may face crime, detention, or limited emergency assistance. Visas must be obtained in advance, no visa on arrival. Embassy and consular service are extremely limited. If something goes wrong, help may not be available, which is why tourism travel is not advised at this time.
Whole situation of what's gone down, obviously in Caracas, has had huge impacts on air flights. Several airlines canceling hundreds of flights across the country after the news of Maduro's capture yesterday because the airspace was essentially shut down in the Caribbean.
Yeah, let's get right to local 10's Isabella Martin. She is live at MIA to show us how it's looking right now. Isabella.
Good morning. Well, this is the chaos that travelers are walking into. Right behind me, you can see many passengers. They're waiting for their bags at the carousel, but right next to them, you can see hundreds of bags that arrived yesterday. That's after flights were canceled, and they're just sitting here waiting to be reunited with their owners. Now, while exactly 9 flights have been canceled today here at Miami International, the ripple effects from more than 100 cancellations yesterday, they're still being felt, especially for those international travelers, since many of those grounded flights were headed out of the country. Now, many of these bags belong to passengers who were headed to the Caribbean in South America, but got stuck in Miami yesterday.
Many travelers have been asking whether recent events involving Venezuela affected travel to nearby destinations like Miami, Aruba, and Puerto Rico. Here's what actually happened and what travelers need to know. Recent security activity in the region did cause temporary disruption to air travel, but it's important to understand the difference between flight interruption and travel bans. Miami, Florida was not closed to travelers and had no entry restrictions. However, because Miami is a major gateway to Caribbean and South America, some flights experienced delays, rerouting, or short-term cancellations while airspace safety measures were in effect. Puerto Rico remained fully open as well. During the height of the situation, some flights into and out of San Juan were delayed, canceled due to temporary airspace control, not because of conditions on the island itself. Now, Aruba also stayed open and welcomed tourists. Like other Caribbean hubs, it experienced flight schedule disruptions, mainly affecting airline operation rather than traveler safety on the ground. What this means for travelers, there were no travel bans for Miami, Puerto Rico, or Aruba. The impact mainly was logistical, involving airline scheduling and airspace management. Most flights have now resumed normal operation, though travelers are still encouraged to check with airlines before departure. The key takeaway is this: popular destinations like Miami, Aruba, and Puerto Rico remain open, safe, and ready for visitors. But staying informed and flexible is more important than ever.
This morning, U.S. airlines are resuming flights in the Caribbean. The FAA had ordered them to stay away from Venezuela during that strike early Saturday morning. It led to several cancellations. We spoke with a man from Atlanta who was stuck in the Caribbean with his family after they just finished a holiday cruise.
Now they're saying we're not going to be back, or we can't be confirmed on a flight until Thursday, which I'm hearing is actually good news because a lot of our other friends that we met on the ship are being booked well into next weekend.